Welcome back for another video. Today we got a pair of DTRT Jordan 3s, man. These look like they're intact, but midsoles are no longer. They're on their way out. Stay tuned because we're doing a custom look on this back tab. We are not doing the Jumpman Air. We're giving these a custom look per the client's request. Let's get into these shoes. Let's talk about the history behind them and get into the process. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And as always, let's get into the video. All right, so obviously starting out this obvious restoration, let's take out the obvious laces, obviously. Now that we've got the laces taken out, we can go ahead and take these apart. Look, they're just gonna come apart. And just like that. Told you, it was on its way out. I may have done it, but it was gonna happen sooner or later. So we've got our green toe cap stitching. I have a whole case full of thread. I have the same color of the stitching, so we don't need to preserve it. I'm just gonna go ahead and take it out. Just like that, we can pull these apart. Boom. We're gonna focus our attention on the uppers and skiving off all this dried factory glue using an X-Acto knife. So let's go ahead and do that. As you guys know, we always like to keep a fresh blade. So I have my spare case of ones that are used, or this is the spare case of ones that are used. This is the spare case of fresh ones. Every single time you tackle a shoe, you should just change the X-Acto knife just to make sure you have a fresh one. If you're really about that professional results, make sure you're always working with a fresh X-Acto knife blade. All right, so now that we've got the uppers all done, they're all prepped, we're gonna move on to the soles. My plan for the soles is to take heat and my scraper tool to remove all the dried glue and then just use acetone and cotton balls to remove any of the remnants. Okay, so on second thought, I'm just gonna take these in the Dremel box. This is gonna be like much more work than it needs to be when it doesn't have to be, right? Why waste the time? So let's go in our Dremel box and just take our Dremel tool. It's gonna be a lot easier. So yeah, I actually forgot to record the Dremel part. I'm not sure what happened there, but here's a quick before and after. Now I'm just gonna clean up the sole I hit with the Dremel using some acetone and cotton balls to clear out the leftover debris. Now that we're finished with the soles, the donors for this project are a pair of chlorophyll Jordan 3s, and the reason we're using these is because the air unit is green, which matches the original look of the shoes the best. To take them apart, I throw them in my donor separation oven, and to assist me with separating them, I'm using a syringe full of acetone. This is just gonna make the process a lot easier because the shoes won't come apart with just the heat. Some donors do, some don't, but the acetone syringe is always gonna ensure these can come apart. And just like that, we've got one donor taken apart, the midsole's in perfect condition and ready to be prepped. I'm going to break down the other one real quick and then we'll move on from there. The next step in this restoration is dremeling the donors. I'm using a low grit bit, around 60 grit, pretty coarse, and this is going to help me clean up everything without rubbing in the old glue into the midsole. Using a high grit Dremel bit when you're trying to remove old factory glue is only going to rub it into the midsole more. It's not going to actually remove it. That's where a lot of people, amateurs, make mistakes in their restoration. I'll keep the speed low at about 1500 RPMs so it stays controlled and doesn't damage anything. Alright, so we've dremeled the midsoles. They are all prepped. They fit great. Let me show you the fitment. As you can see, we got no problems with the fitment. Now I'm putting no pressure on these, right? But once I do, it obviously aligns. So the midsoles are all good to go. I did strip the paint off camera too. It's just a quick, easy process. These are bone dry now, and I did apply some adhesion promoter to these to help my paint stick. Now, I am doing a white base coat because the lower half of this midsole is painted white, but we do have to color match this yellow as best as we can. So let's go ahead and let's take a few colors, yellows, different shades, and see what we come up with. Like I said at the beginning of the video, or not, I don't know if I did, but every single pair of DTRTs I've worked on, the yellow in the midsole has been a different color every single time. So this is a different shade than the last pair I worked on. The last pair I worked on was darker. This one's lighter, but we're still gonna color match it to achieve that look. So let's go ahead and do that. Now that we've got the DTRT custom mixed paint, it's time to tape up these midsoles and get them ready for the fresh repaint. I already, off camera, painted these midsoles white, so once we have them taped up, the next stop will be the airbrush station. I'll meet you guys over there. Now that we're here in the airbrush station, I'm pouring the custom mix through a 190 micron filter. That way nothing gets through that could clog the airbrush and the paint runs smooth the whole way through. I'll start off with a light coat of yellow, then build up with each pass, going a little heavier until I hit the exact shade I'm looking for. Alright, paint job is done. Let's see these clean lines. Wow. Let me know what you guys think in the comments on how this paint job came out on a scale of 1 to 10. I want to see your rating in the comments. I think it was a 10. Next up, we're removing the original Jumpman Air backtabs from these guys and getting the heels ready for the Nike Air custom backtabs. I'm using an X-Acto knife and carefully cutting each stitch so the tab releases clean. The goal is to keep all that factory blue stitching intact around the heel so nothing gets chewed up and we can preserve it. After a lot of patience and effort, we got all the crumbled backtab material out of the shoes. Now I'm laying down the glue on the uppers, midsoles, and outsoles. Once that cures, we'll bond everything back together, then finish it off by installing the new backtabs. The glue that I'm using is Barge Super Stick Cement, and I'm applying it using a flathead paintbrush. All right, so we're here in the second, final, last step of this restoration, the bonding process. I got to stitch up the shoes and put in the backtab still. We still got to do that, but the glue is all cured. It's ready to be bonded back together. I already did one little sneak peek. Came out beautiful. Now we're going to do the other one. Let's go ahead, waste no time, get straight into it. Let's do it. All right, so we've got the reglue done. These are all bonded back together. They look amazing to me. They came out beautiful. So now, as you see, these have no back tabs. At the beginning of the video, I showed you these custom Nike Air back tabs that the client wanted. I'm gonna go ahead and install them on off camera. If you guys wanna see a video on how to install back tabs on Jordan 3s, Jordan 4s, it's pretty much all the same across every shoe, let me know in the comments and I'll make a separate video on another pair I get and replace the back tabs. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and install these and we'll meet you back to lace them up and look at the final results. right, that's going to wrap up the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe if you did, drop a like, follow, all that good stuff. And I will see you in the next video. Let me know what you thought about this video in the comments. I'll see you next time.